You're driving down the road and start to wonder, how fast should I be going? You might even ask why the speed limit isn't higher or just possibly a bit lower. Have you ever wondered who sets the speed limits and how they are determined? We'll answer these questions so you can get back to your drive and, more importantly, the road. The Iowa Department of Transportation determined speed limits for state-managed roadways. Our process for deciding the speed involves a variety of factors that help us set safe and efficient limits. Let's take a moment to go back to driver's ed and remind you that a speed limit is the maximum speed a driver can legally travel on a particular part of the roadway. The Iowa Department of Transportation is responsible for posting speed limits on all primary roadway systems, even within the city. For city streets, like the ones in your neighborhood, the city is responsible for establishing those limits. Speed limits are enforced by law enforcement agencies. The goal is to provide a safe and efficient travel environment. In some cases, advisory speed limits are also set up to help caution drivers about unfamiliar or hazardous roadway conditions like limited visibility, curves, and work zones. Whether there is a posted speed limit or not, Iowa law has established the appropriate limits for certain types of locations. So how do we do it? We use a process driven by research and data, coupled with engineering judgment and nationally accepted safety principles to determine the most appropriate speed limit. The first step involves conducting a speed study. We collect data on all drivers to identify the speed that 85% of drivers feel they can safely travel. The Iowa Department of Transportation considers numerous factors, such as the number of intersections, driveways, crosswalks, roadway design, and existing land uses that impact travel like visibility and existing traffic controls. Finally, we study traffic volumes and crash history. With all of this information, we are equipped to make informed decisions that will help keep drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists safe. The process for changing a speed limit starts with local officials determining there is a need. Once the city requests a speed limit review, the Iowa Department of Transportation will conduct a speed study and provide recommendations. If an agreement is reached, the Iowa Department of Transportation will post the new speed limit. In any case, we rely on our local partners and law enforcement to help regulate speeds. When a good speed limit is set based on data-driven decision-making, drivers adapt and less enforcement is needed. Sometimes we are asked to reduce speed limits in hopes of preventing crashes, but in most cases, lower speed limits aren't the solution. When a speed limit is set too low without supporting data, we see more variability in speeds. This creates conflicts and makes assessing the speed of other drivers difficult to determine. In fact, driver distraction and error is often the cause of crashes. We all have responsibilities when we are on the road, and every time we get behind the wheel, we have an obligation to everyone else to observe the speed limits. However, speed limits alone don't keep us safe. Drivers need to reduce speed during poor weather, heavy traffic, or other hazardous travel conditions, and keep safe following distances, allowing enough time to stop safely. We all have the power to make a difference. Together, with your support and our data-driven process, we can all help keep travelers moving, getting you there safely, efficiently, and conveniently.